What's up, guys? So today I bought both of the Sega Ages releases. They're out now. The Sega Ages releases, they have, as you can see here, Sonic the Hedgehog and then Lightning Force. Now, Lightning Force is Thunder Force 4. This is kind of the people have pointed out and laughed about it, I guess, the misspelling Lightning Force. But it's like a side-scrolling shooter. It's not a game I played a lot of back in the day, but of course, who has not played Sonic the Hedgehog? So I wanted to start here so you guys could see both of the icons, since that tends to be a bit of a question. What do the icons look like? Well, here you go. You can pause and take a look at them if you want. But I think first we're going to start with Sonic, and then we'll jump over to Lightning Force, and we'll check them both out and talk a bit about if they're worth it, because Sonic the Hedgehog or Lightning Force will set you back $7.99. And of course, we now know that there is a Genesis Classics Collection coming out this winter that's going to have 50 games and be $30. And I know Sonic is on there, so why would you buy this one? Well, let's figure this out. So first thing, this is done by M2, and they added a lot to this game. It's not necessarily just Sonic the Hedgehog in its classic form. Now, it can be if you'd like it to be, but they did add some improvements in. They have the drop dash in there, which is something people liked from Sonic Mania and everything. So they did add that in. And then they also added in a manual, but check this out. Last I checked, there we go. Okay, good. So the manual's there. When I first bought it, like when it first showed up and I went there, it was just like, it had a spot that's like, this is where the manual, this is saved for the manual. So they do have a manual. It's all done in the web browser. This is all done in their little web browser thing. So you can kind of go between the two. You can pick them, and they have a full manual that essentially runs on the web browser, as you're seeing here, and you can technically go through. You can see how you do everything, and they probably even tell you how to do like I guess the drop dash and everything. But all of that is in there. And then they also have replay, so you can save replays. If you have a very good run, you can look into that. And they have settings where you can turn stuff on and off, wallpapers and everything. But let me go back to the game. So they do have rankings here where you can, I guess, compete against. Yep, there you go. So you can compete against other people's stuff, and they even have a little replay. Ooh. Okay, this is kind of cool. They have a replay feature where you can download and watch the other person's replay. So this is at the top. So we're going to watch this person, I guess, jet through Green Hill Zone, and then I'll play through it at a much slower pace, I'm sure, because this is somebody who is very good at the game, obviously, and rolling through it. You can see they're using the drop dash and everything. Wow, geez. So they're very good at, obviously, as you can see here. So they blasted through that pretty quick. That's cool. I like that you can watch how other people get through these. Like, that's really cool. They have a time attack ranking, my rank. Okay, yeah, so you can kind of go through and see how they're beating everything. Like, that is a really cool idea. I like that. They have a challenge mode where you can get the fastest time. Use spin and drop dash to your advantage, of course. And then they also have settings, which press X and we can go into settings. You can change between the different versions, whether it's Japan or international or Mega Play, which is cool. And then you can also turn off the spin and drop dash if you would like to have, I guess, just the outright original experience. I don't think a lot of people prefer that. I think they prefer to have all the cool stuff added in. Then you can have display mode full. I have it at fit. You can also go normal where it shrinks it down, so I guess it's like as pixel perfect as it gets, and the image isn't stretched or blown up. I have it at fit just so it's a little bigger. Full, and then dot by dot. So vintage has the scan line. I mean, I'm not a big fan of having scan lines now. I lived through that enough, you know. I'm fine with that and just off. See, smoothing makes it kind of blurry, so I just have it off. You can change the wallpaper, which is cool. You can also turn the ring chain display on and off if you want. No way that I've seen to outright turn off the wallpaper. Oh, wait, there we go, cool. So none. So anyone who does not want wallpaper, you can turn it off. So there you go. Very good. So let me go back here, and let's just jump into original. I'm going to turn stage select off. You can literally just pick whatever stage you want. So here we go. We're jumping in. X appears to be start, and if you press start or plus normally on here, it just kicks you back to here where you have a spot for saving, ranking, manual, and all that good stuff. So you can technically go back through and check all that out if you want. Otherwise, you press X for start. They have that set up there, which is weird because I don't know why you wouldn't have like the minus, because I think plus and minus do the same thing. So why wouldn't you have plus still be start, but minus be your your back button, I guess you'd be your menu button, if you will. So yes, they did add the drop dash, the spin where you can hold down and tap, obviously jump and shoot through. That was introduced in Sonic 2 that I remember, and Sonic 1 did not have that. So Sonic 1 always felt a little, I guess you were less, you had less movement options, you're less agile and everything in it. There's the drop dash, boom. So the drop dash is pretty cool because it can get you moving once you hit. If you do it right, like that, you can get going. That way you don't have to stop and you know, hold down and spin and everything. Although I've always liked that spin dash. That was always really cool back in the day. I mean, we saw someone blast through this in what, 20 seconds or something. You know what? That wasn't too bad. There's the ring, of course, if you want to go to the special mode. That wasn't too bad. I know Green Hill is like the easy mode of it, so it gets harder as you go. Why don't we play another one, and then we'll jump over to Lightning Force. It looks good on the monitor here. I don't have smoothing or anything set up, or pixel, or I guess vintage or anything like that. I have just regular. Smoothing, when I tried that, I know you can tell that it does try to soften the edges and everything, and it just comes off as blurry to me. That might just be me though. Maybe other people are fine with it, but it just comes off as like blurry. But again, I'm sure people would probably like that mode. I never got into that. But this is Sonic 1, straight up. And this is where you're going to have to figure out if things like the drop dash, the spin dash, like the rankings and stuff, are in your mind worth the $7.99. Some people are fine. Some people are like, yeah, I'm buying this now. You know, that's fine. But I know there are going to be people who are like, well, I'll wait. $8 is a bit much for Sonic, you know, right now. That's fine. But they at least added a lot. M2, they did a lot of good work with this. It is some good work here. So I know people like the other versions of this. I believe the Christian Whitehead one is better. I'm not into Sonic to that degree, so I couldn't tell you exactly what the differences are all the way around, but this is a competent version of Sonic. So let's jump over to Lightning Force, which is much harder, and I'm sure I'll die a lot in that, but let's check that one out. So here we are with Lightning Force, Quest for the Dark Star. Let's jump in here. They have a kids mode, which I guess is easy mode, but they wanted to call it kids mode. This game is fairly difficult. It's not an easy game. It's essentially a shooter where you get wrecked pretty easily. Also has a manual, of course. We kind of already looked at it though. Credits, they have rankings. I did not look. No, they have replays. Okay, so you can go through here and maybe even learn from some people as to how they're doing certain things. So let's check this person out real quick through the replay to see how that does. So here they are. I don't know which level this is. I played through some of it in the beginning. This is, I think, later on. So yeah, I guess that you can go through and watch people and see it. They even tells you the buttons they're pressing on the left. That's cool. So you can kind of get an idea of what inputs they're pressing and everything if you're trying to do really well in one level or whatnot. That's really neat. It's almost like how you can see the inputs in a fighting game, kind of. That's neat. So we'll see. I'm going to be curious if they add a lot of this stuff into the other Sega Ages games. I assume it will be. I assume this is like an ongoing thing. Although, I'm trying to figure out what they would do with Phantasy Star, because I don't know if you're going to watch an entire run-through of Phantasy Star, and it's not really broken into levels, technically. I'm going to be curious what they do with this replay feature with Phantasy Star. But let me go back here. Let's jump into original mode, where I'm sure I'll get destroyed a lot. And try it out. They, of course, have the Lightning Force border there. I would like, let me just double check. Can you change that? You can. So you can go into the settings right away from here, and you can turn International, Japan. Okay, those changes require a game reset. But I believe changing the controls do not. So you can technically mess around with the controls if you want, and it does not appear to mess with the, like you have to restart the game or anything like that. Nothing like that. Display mode can be changed on the fly as well. You can change that. Wallpaper all that stuff can be changed. So if you want to do it on the fly, you can do that as well. I noticed one other thing there. You can even look at the manual while you're playing. I noticed one thing there. I think it was the sound. So you can play around, as you can see here, with the voice, but you do have to, like BGM and everything, play voice, but you have to reset the game. So those are all like little features. You can save state as well. Once again, X is start, plus and minus are go to that menu. And here we go, change with A, and we shoot with B. So Off to a decent start here. It's kind of hard to see what's going on with that background. See, when I originally started, I forgot you can change, I guess, levels you start with. When I originally started, it was a sand level. There was like sand and stuff flying all over the place. So yes, it is we were just playing the NES Online, playing Gradius. It's a shooter similar to that. If you've played any of those games, so we're gonna keep shooting here. It again looks good on the monitor. Looks good. Visually, it's sharp, but it's not. I don't have the smoothing on, so you see all the pixels and everything. But this is. Oh, there's a slowdown too. Look at that. I wonder if they designed that or if that's just an issue. All right. So when I did the SNK mini review and unboxing and everything, impressions, I talked about it. A lot of people told me that Metal Slug is actually designed now to keep its slowdown in the game. I just got killed. Because that's just kind of how it was before in the arcade and everything. And people actually consider that as like being a big deal in the game, you know, like they want the slowdown because that's what the experience was in the arcade. So I wonder if they even like program that to have, can I shoot behind me? There we go, yeah. Oh man, I was saying you can shoot behind you if you switch that. So I wonder if they have it set up so that it has like it wants you to have that slowdown. I wonder if they have that set up or if that was just the system just struggling. I don't know. It'd be weird if it would struggle with this. So I doubt that. It might be something that they just added in, like that Metal Slug slowdown. Yeah, I mean this is a game I really didn't get into back in the day. Some people might have. I just didn't. There's game over. Some people may have gotten into this game. I really didn't. It does have credits and everything, so you can jump right back in. But I was more of a Sonic, Vector Man, Sonic and Knuckles, Comic Zone kind of guy, which is funny because Comic Zone was actually pretty difficult. But that will be in the Sega Classics Collection that I'll be picking up later on this year. But that is those are two games for the Sega the Sega Ages setup there. You have to hold A to go back. Those are two games. They're $7.99 a piece. They're $8 a piece. It might be worth buying if you like the enhancements they made to Sonic 1. From what I can tell, Lightning Force is very similar to how it was before, I guess, with the addition of the Kids mode. So you're going to have to decide if that's worth it. I think Sonic is going to get a lot of people's attention. I think it's going to sell fairly well because it's Sonic, and people always say they want the Virtual Console, so there you go. It's technically a Virtual Console there for you, just with one game. But the Sega Classics Collection is coming out later on this year, so you're going to have to decide which way you want to go with it. But thanks, guys, for joining me. I hope this helped you out. I hope this gave you an idea of what these games were, whether it's Lightning Force or Sonic the Hedgehog. If you've never played Sonic before, I'm sure we've bought that game several times. This is probably like the 7th time I've bought Sonic, so there you go. I like the addition of the spin dash, the drop dash. Those are really cool additions that make the game play slightly different. So it's kind of neat. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you liked the video, dislike it if not, and I'll see you guys in the next video.